we start in Egypt, where its cabinet has approved raising the minimum income tax threshold to around $398 a year from about $369 Now, the decision has yet to be approved by Parliament. Of course, the finance minister said that the government has also made changes on a social security package that includes a 15% rise for pensioners and up to 20% a rise in salaries for state employees. The measures are partially designed to diffuse discontent over the steep price hikes resulting from reforms introduced in November. The measures also include the floatation of the Egyptian pound, the introduction of value-added tax, and the partial lifting of subsidies on fuel. Now, the new package is a relief to millions of Egyptians at the start of the holy month of Ramadan. Now, joining us to give us more on this is Yasser Hakim in Cairo. Yasser, welcome to the show. Now, explain to us what exactly the raising of this minimum income tax means for Egypt's economy as well as its people, who, of course, are struggling with the rising cost of prices.
Yes, Uche, the inflation has hit 32% in the last couple of months. And obviously, prices have shot up after the devaluation of the Egyptian pound, like you just said. And this is an important step to try to appease the Egyptians. Obviously, the salaries have not gone up with the rise in prices in the last few months. And this means that what they're doing is that they're increasing the minimum. That means if a person is now exempted from any income tax payment unless he's taken the $398. That's more, if you put in mind that the minimum wage is around $100 in Egypt at the moment. And of course, for the economy, this is a burden on the budget. The budget is already facing a 9% budget deficit. The government is trying to reduce the budget deficit, but this is an important aspect to try to balance between the prices and the wages in Egypt at the moment.
Now, Yasser, we know this proposal is suddenly popular with the people, but is it popular enough to be approved by Parliament, given the fact that you mentioned that the government is trying to cut its spending?
It has been approved by Parliament a couple of hours ago. It was very quick approval because the Parliament has been pushing for such a step, although they know it will affect the budget deficit. But as well, the Parliament has been accused by many of the low-income earners that for approving the austerity measures that by the government that led to the inflationary prices, that led to the increase in prices everywhere, and led to the devaluation of the Egyptian pound. So the Parliament had to gain some popularity because it was accused and has not been popular by the people for approving the austerity measures. And at this point, they're saying, the Parliament is saying it's standing by the people and has accepted the new laws swiftly in Parliament just an hour ago.
Now, Yasser, we know the government also set a social security package of about $2.4 billion for the year 2017 and 18. This will begin in July. And how will this change from the norm that we've seen before?
First of all, if you look at the type of package, it has doubled the security funding for some projects that go to the the around 9 million poor, extremely poor people in villages, and they always have an annual, a monthly income given to them in the form of money that would help these families in the rural areas and the very poor villages, as well as money that is giving for the small enterprises, for small, if you can call, workshops for the ladies, the women, and the families to gain some extra income. And this has been doubled, and this is a huge amount if you put in consideration the last 5 to 6 years. The government is trying to reach out to the very poor so that they can manage to sort of find a new source of income that will help them during the austerity measures and the economic recession that the government is going on through now.
Well, many thanks, Yasser, for those insights. Yasser Hakim joining us there in Cairo.